We've been desperately waiting on Nvidia for news about the upcoming series of cards, but instead, all we've got is devastating news after devastating news after devastating news after unrelated news after devastating news. I mean, basically the GeForce Partner Program forcing AMD out of the conversation. Then we have MX 150s not being spec'd for what we thought they were. Then we have, GTC, where basically all we get is a GDC first, actually, and then we get ray tracing and all of that goodness. And then we have GTC, where we get the DGX2, which is the $400,000 supercomputer graphics card. And then we also get the GV100s, but no announcement of Ampere or Turing or anything that's coming next in the consumer lineup. And then we get news that I made a video on earlier, which was basically that 980 Ti's and 780s and 780 Ti's and Titan X's are blowing up their memory inductors and bricking the cards. So Nvidia, not in anybody's good graces right now, but let's have some hope. Let's look towards the future. Let's maybe look towards things that might be coming up, because we got some information about Nvidia Turing GTX 1180 and 1170s, which it's been confirmed, as with everything else, that these will be the GTX 11 series, not the GTX 20 series, because GTX 11 comes after 10, 20 doesn't come after 10, 9, 10, 20 is not how we count, people. It's simple arithmetic, okay? So according to Tom's Hardware Germany, Nvidia is allegedly launching its brand new Turing graphics card architecture in July for the gaming segment. Nvidia is now said to be planning to replace its existing Pascal-powered GeForce gaming lineup with a brand new architecture codenamed Turing around July. Ampere, on the other hand, is now said to be Volta's successor in the compute, high performance, and AI machine learning markets. So GTC didn't give us any announcement of the GeForce 11, but what we did get was some interesting information about GDDR6, which is supposed to be the memory that's going to be on these upcoming graphics cards. And there's some delightful information that we all should basically know, but then also half of us are gonna, bare our teeth at and get really foamy at the mouth, because we're gonna basically be acting like we're infected with rabies, because it's good news for miners. M-I-N-E-R-S, not M-I-N-O-R-S. We're not, nothing's happening with graphics cards being sold to people under 18. That's still the same market segment. Nvidia is not really making advancements in the sale of, to adolescents. That's not what's going on. It's to miners with the pickaxes and the cryptocurrencies. That's what's happening here. Well, we got no announcement at GTC. Basically, there was some information. Gamers Nexus, as well as a few other sources, have talked with SK Hynix, who is going to be producing the GDDR6 memory that is going into these chips. And Samsung has already been reported of going into production on GDDR6, whereas the interview with SK Hynix indicates that it is going to be happening. They're in production right now, and they expect everything to be ready around the June-July-ish timeframe, which puts us right at Computex for it to actually be unveiled. We would see the cards, and then we would have production models shipping later in right after I get off my flights back from Computex is when I'll start getting my first shipment of GTX 11 series review samples. That is the time frame that is looking to happen right now. Is July is when we should be anticipating, which hopefully gives a lot of people some information as to whether or not they should be looking to buy a graphics card right now. Can you hold out? Can you hold out for a few more months? I know the prices are still really high. Do you need it right now? Can you wait a few months to get better performance? Because better performance, even if we don't know anything about the core clock, we have some really good information about the actual clock speed, or the performance information of GDDR6. So basically, it's going to be running at the same voltage and double the speed of GDDR5 and costs around 20% more. So there's a few things there. The voltage is really good. The power draw is supposed to be less, so we're going to get more efficient cards overall. But then to deliver double the performance. So one of the things that makes Ethereum so good to mine is its dependency on memory speed. And one of the things that was happening with GDDR5 is that you were seeing between 7 and 9 gigabits per second memory data transfer speed. So with everything I'm about to say, my brain slipped and I completely misremembered that the GTX 1080 doesn't have GDDR5, it has GDDR5X, and its memory speed is 10 gigabits per second as opposed to the lower GDDR5, but the point kind of remains the same regardless of what the actual numbers I'm quoting and the memory type I'm quoting actually says. GDDR6 is going to be significantly faster. That's what GDDR5 was capable of producing, was between 7 and 9. Nvidia had a relaunch of the GTX 1060 where they bumped it up to 9, and then the GTX 1080 refresh where they lowered the price. They also bumped that up to 9, so we were seeing really good performance. But then also on GDDR5X with the 1080 Ti's, what we were seeing was 11 gigabits per second, which was really good. Now it looks like the GTX 1180 and 1170 are going to be launching with GDDR6, which is capable of up to 16 gigabits per second, which is double what the 1080 and the 1070 launched with, which means that they're going to be Ethereum mining beasts. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good for miners. This is going to be something that is going to absolutely destroy the crypto market and make it very difficult for you to mine with GTX 1080s and 1070s and even the 1070 Ti's. So yes, this is what we're basically going to get. We're going to get the core performance on a GTX 1180 of something like a 1080 Ti, but then with the memory transfer speed of basically something that we haven't even seen yet, which is going to knock the ballpark out of everything when it comes to cryptocurrency mining with the new Ampere or Turing cards that are going to be launching, which will be absolutely phenomenal for some, but then also is going to create this issue where we think that everything's going to be out of stock and you can't just buy these cards anywhere. But that's hopefully what is going to be limited when Nvidia announces the other side, which is not the gaming cards, not the GTX 11 series, but that we actually have this compute performance side of things. We have the Ampere to the Turing, which means that we are going to have new graphics cards that are for mining that hopefully don't have any of the downfalls, not downflaws, but that even makes sense, doesn't have any of the downfalls of current mining cards where there's no display outs, they have terrible warranties, and things are it's just not a good card for you to buy if you want to resell it. Hopefully Nvidia listens and actually produces mining cards that have good warranties, have display outs, and can be used for gaming, but then also have some added advantages to its memory tweaking and to its core efficiency and to a whole bunch of other stuff that will allow it to perform well as a mining card without cannibalizing the gaming card sales, because if you can get it for a decent price, you're not going to be buying the GTX 1180 unless these go out of stock, in which case obviously the cycle begins anew. But these things will be prioritized first, not these cards. Hopefully Nvidia is listening anyways. But then the bad news, if the mining stuff wasn't already enough bad news for you, is that GDDR6 is apparently going to cost 20% more than current GDDR5 production, which means that yes, we've been talking about how graphics card prices are high because memory prices are also high, which is giving us higher graphics card costs. Well, add about 20% to that, and that's what we're going to be seeing on the new GTX 11 series cards, is 20% higher core card costs than we already even have, not card costs, but the memory costs. But then like if it's already $30 to $35 higher than MSRP, then we add another 20% to that. It's going to be, I mean, what did the GTX 1080 launch at? I think that launched at $700. The GTX 1080 launched at $700. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the neighborhood of $750 to $800. That would be very expensive. It would not be a cheap card, but then it would also, hopefully the performance with the core efficiency, not just the memory efficiency, because memory is going to be good. GDDR6 is really good from everything that Gamers Nexus and everybody else who is talking to these manufacturers is saying, because we've been waiting for so long for an updated core refresh, the new architecture. If Nvidia is actually making it worth the wait in any way, shape, or form, then we could see cards that are absolutely killer in both the gaming arena, but then also with the mining arena, and then we have everybody is happy. That's what we want. We want world peace in the world of gamers versus miners in graphics cards. That's what we want. That's what I'm hoping for here. And that's ultimately, with all of the flaws of Nvidia, I'm hoping and opening my heart to the fact that they might be doing something good for the consumers. And I know, Nvidia is what we like to call them, and there's a whole bunch of issues that might go on with this, and there's probably some things behind the scenes that we're not thinking about that are basically going to screw the customer over. But I am hoping, my friends, I am hoping. and I hope you are with me too. Anyways, that's going to be it for this little announcement on GTX 11 series cards. They're coming soon in a few months. If you can hold out, hold out. If you can't, buy now. You have 3 months until basically your card's obsolete. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up here. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content. And if you're buying graphics cards, whether new, used, upcoming, or not, you can use our Amazon affiliate code down in the video description to pick them up to help us give us a small kickback that helps keep things going around here while I'm currently touring the United States. It's way too much. I've seen way too much of the American interstate system. This is more than I have ever wanted. And I'm traveling with kids. We have 3 kids that we've been driving around with. And oh my goodness, my friends, I love my kids. I love my kids. But they're not made for road tripping. Small children are not made for road tripping, and it's been great. It's been fun, but I'm ready to be off the road. And so anyways, yes, Amazon affiliate code goes to support us. Also, we have a Patreon, link in the video description. That also goes to support everything that's happening here. I can't wait to get back to South Africa. That's basically what this comes down to. I love you all. Thank you for sticking with me. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.